Do you want a pet swan to be your best friend or the
love of your life?
I've been really trying, baby.
but you can't because it's illegal in your state? Well, you can create your own with the ancient technique of
Japanese origami.
If you've been living under a rock and somehow you don't know what origami is, then you're most likely extremely lost right now. Origami is known as the Japanese art of folding paper into decorated shapes and figures, according to Google. It was first introduced sometime after Buddhist monks from China brought paper over to Japan during the 6th century. The name origami originated from the Japanese root words ori, meaning to fold, and kami, meaning paper. Before the name origami, folding paper for entertainment was known as orikata, orimano, tatamigami, and many other names. But origami is actually quite an interesting topic, from seeing how far a paper airplane can fly to seeing the most detailed and exotic animal you can make with just a single piece of paper. Heck, you can even use origami when you make those paper airplanes when you're sitting down bored in class. The history of origami is quite mysterious and intriguing by itself. And if you take a deeper look under the surface of origami in Japanese culture, we can see the values and religious beliefs of a group of people who wanted to praise and appreciate important people and moments throughout life. Nowadays, people usually only use origami as a stress reliever, or just when they're bored. Although if you take a leap back in time, you will be able to find a group of people who really valued origami and put meaning into it. During the 6th century, people used origami for many purposes. People during Shinto wedding ceremonies, a traditional marriage ceremony that takes place at a Shinto shrine in Japan, will use origami butterflies to represent the bride and groom. Samurai warriors were also known for exchanging gifts adorned with noshi, a sort of good luck token made of folded strips of paper. But Japanese origami was first used for religious ceremonial purposes only, due to the high price of paper at the time. During the ancient times of Japan, people highly valued ceremonies and important passages in life, hence the reason why people gave folded pieces of paper to show their gratitude, appreciation, and or respect to those who should be recognized. Take the samurai warriors for example. People will give them folded pieces of paper to give them quote-unquote good luck and to pay their respects to them. This may seem ridiculous now, but you have to remember paper was very expensive back then. This easily shows how origami added appreciation and value to important things in life. In our culture, when we see a shooting star, the first thing you do is make a wish, in hopes that your greatest desires come true. Well, in Japan, they have another version of this, which involves Zembazura? Senbazuru? Senbazuru is 1,000 paper cranes. It literally means 1,000 paper cranes. And ancient Japanese stories say if you made a senbazuru and made a wish after completing each crane, then your wish would come true. Yes, 1,000 paper cranes. No disrespect at all, but who has the time for that? Okay, creating a senbazuru first became popular in the mid-1950s after the tragic story of Sadako Sasaki, when 11-year-old Sadako Sasaki developed leukemia as a result of her exposure to radiation as a baby during the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in 1945. She believed that the wish from a senbazuru would help her illness. So she set out to make a senbazuru, hoping and wishing for her own recovery. Although in the middle of her making a senbazuru, she began to wish for world peace instead. But sadly, she only was able to make 644 paper cranes before sadly passing away. School friends decided to complete the rest of the senbazuru and dedicated them for her funeral. This was only one version of the story though. The other more reliable ending says she completed the 1,000 paper cranes and went on to fold several hundred more before losing the battle to cancer at the age of 12. Regardless of the ending to the story of Sadako Sasaki inspired the Children's Peace Memorial in Hiroshima. The story also inspired people to build a statue of Sadako in Seattle. Now each year on Peace Day, August 6th, tens of thousands of origami paper cranes are sent to Hiroshima by children all over the world. What a beautiful and sad story. I find it so inspiring and heartwarming how that many people came together just to honor the story of Sadako. The impact of how Zembazuru origami had on people is quite magnificent. I mean, people literally came together and performed origami just to memorialize and appreciate this one person. This shows how origami can carry many words and can be used to value an important person to you. Origami has many more uses than one might have realized. I could almost say for a fact that each one of you did not know every single thing in this video. Who could have known that origami had such value in life? I know I didn't. In conclusion, many things use origami in many ways. Ceremony used origami for religious purposes and to appreciate people and moments in your life. Zembazuru used origami to value a person and to give others hope. The use of origami in Japanese culture was used to show how much one values and appreciates moments and people in one's life. My final question before ending this video is, how do you use origami in your everyday life?